Hello guys! Alright, today in not dog content, I wanted to show something off. I'm gonna put the camera here. My head is probably gonna be in bad lighting, but whatever. Alright, so I'm going to show off my planner. Alright, so I'm currently using two planners because usually I get planners that start in July, or I set them to start in July, because as a teacher I prefer to have them or planners that last for the school year. So I usually have them start in July. I don't use like academic or like teacher planners just because of the way that my job works. It doesn't make sense since I don't teach like 6 different classes. I don't teach different class periods. So I just use a regular planner. So I had that one, and then I heard about Passion Planner from a fellow Corgi mom on Instagram, and she was talking about because of their sale, and I just could not resist getting another one. So the Passion Planner runs from January to December, and like you can't customize the dates. So my initial plan was I was going to get the 2019 one, and then after my July to June planner ran out in, well, actually I think it's July to July. So after my other planner ran out during the summer, I would switch to this one, and I'd already have it. But I just enjoy it so much. I've been using two. So I use one of them for more like in-depth stuff for the workday, writing out appointments in more detail and stuff. And then the Passion Planner is kind of like my big picture overall for the day. So the lighting's not great to show this off, but I do have the rose gold one, and it's really pretty. It's leathery, it's really nice, like pale golden pink. There is a little elastic that goes around it to hold it shut. And then there is a bookmark. It's a green ribbon. I kind of wish it was a different color personally. Like I don't feel like it goes that well with it, but whatever. It does the job to hold your posts. I'm gonna show off a little bit of what I have in here so far, talk a little bit about it, and then set up the next month because we're coming up on the end of February. Then I'm going to start working on my March, and also set up next week. Alright, so the thing about Passion Planner is it's very like goal oriented. So you're supposed to set a lot of goals for yourself, of whether short term or long term. So that's something that's different about it. And there's even an instruction sheet at the beginning that talks about that, and the idea of the roadmap that as they call it. So mine, I'm not going to show it off closely, but basically it's like a web map, and it starts with a 3-month, a 1 year, a 3 years, and a lifetime, and then fill in however you wish. The way that I did it is I picked 3 different categories that are color coded, and then I try to think of goals related to that theme for each set. I haven't quite finished it, as you can see, but that is the roadmap. And then next to it is the Passion Plan, and I haven't started working on that yet either. Again, I haven't been using this for that long. I've only had it for like 2.5, 3 weeks. But for the Passion Plan, you are supposed to pick one of your goals from the roadmap that you think would have the most positive impact on your life right now, and just focus on that goal in more detail. And then there's, of course, a 2019-2020 calendar, pretty typical list of holidays. And a lot of the spreads have the space of infinite possibility, which is kind of just a blank space for you to put whatever you decide to come up with. So I feel like the Passion Planner is kind of, in a lot of ways, it's like in between a regular planner. I have used Plum Paper for a couple of years, which is kind of like a slightly cheaper version of the Erin Condren planner. So if you're familiar with Erin Condren, it's kind of like a mix between Erin Condren and a bullet journal. Here is, I didn't get it until, I didn't use the January monthly because I hadn't gotten it in time, but this is what a blank monthly spread looks like. So you can see typical date boxes, and then on the side we've got this month's focus, people to see, places to go, not to-do lists, so things to avoid doing, and then personal projects, work projects, and then a mind map of this week's game changer, or whatever you feel like putting in the blank spots. And then this is what a blank weekly spread looks like. Again, this is from a week before I got it. And so on the left, there's a box that says this week's focus and then good things that happened. Again, other people I see online, you know, like put in washi tape and stuff and decorate it, or there's the little printouts. Passion Planner has a lot of things online for free that you can download and then print out and paste within your planner. And then each weekly spread also has a kind of like motivational quote. There's a personal to-do list, there's a work to-do list at the bottom, and then a space of infinite possibility. And the days each have a today's focus box at the top, and then they're broken up in hourly, which at first, Tater, are you taking a foot off a hedgie? He totally is. And it's the one that only had 1 foot left, okay. Anyways, yeah, so I was kind of intimidated by the hourly at first, just because I usually don't get that with planners. I get it with blank lines. But so far it's been working out because it allows me to kind of outline my day a little bit. So I'm just gonna flip through, let's see, flip ahead and show off. Oh, another thing too is there's these two spreads, or this 2-page spread, that's the monthly reflection. So it asks a couple of like reflection questions for you to write about. So for example, what was the most memorable part of this past month? Describe it. What were the 3 biggest lessons you learned this past month? What or who are you especially grateful for this month? Stuff like that, which right now I haven't had to do yet. It sounds a little bit intimidating having to fill this out, but I do like the idea of having you reflect about certain things about the month. Also just to kind of turn your planner into a little bit of a diary or journal, just to keep track of your life so you could look back on it later. And I have seen people looking at spread ideas and stuff on like Pinterest and Instagram where they do use their planner more as a diary, and on each day they might write little notes about things that they did. I see some people who use planners where after the day's over then they fill in everything that they did. I do it in advance before the day starts, usually like the weekend or the week before, fill it out. So my days do end up changing. I don't follow it religiously necessarily, but it gives me an idea. And I kind of like blocking out time to remind myself to do things, because I am pretty busy, you know. In addition to working full-time, I am also attending grad school. So I have a lot of different obligations and stuff during the day, and this helps me kind of lay out my week and block out time and make sure that I set time to do all these different personal projects and stuff. So I'm just gonna show off the February spread now. So this is what I did for February. And the cycles, those refer to grad school stuff of like one of my classes is on cycles, which is just like a 2-week thing where like this is what you need to do in those 2 weeks. So that's what that is, just to keep track of that and remind myself when I'm in week 2 or when I'm in week 1. And then I just filled in my personal projects. I just wrote in like, I did consistent videos as one block, and then I did move your butt as another, which was more of just like number of workouts per week. I don't know what exactly I was envisioning with that when I filled that out. And then work projects, I wrote out some things that I needed to get done for work. And then in the space of infinite possibility, then I was just jotting down what videos I was going to have for that month. All right, so this was the first week that I did. I did not end up liking the spread, but here's an example of one thing you can do. This was too much color, I thought. I just thought that it looked like a lot. So what I've switched to, and I've done for what, past 2 weeks now, is more like this. So what I do is I alternate between blocks where, so the first one I do the little outline with one of my, is it Zebra? I think they're Zebra, the mild liner pens. So I do a box of that, and then I just go over it with black pen. I think I've just been using these Stabilo. I always call it Stabilio in my head. But yeah, the Stabilos that look kind of like pencil sort of with a cap. But yeah, so that's just what I've been doing so far, and I like the look of it. So the first week I just did, or the first week of doing it that way, I just did like my schedule. This week I tried to incorporate a few more of the other little things on here. I'm not gonna show it in too much detail because I do have a few things of like work stuff. It's not that big of a deal to show, but still. But yeah, so at the top I've been putting, for this week I put in stuff for the today's focus kind of, and then I put a little washi tape at the bottom, and I had the personal to-do list and the work to-do list, just a few things I needed to do for each. And then for this week's focus I put down start cleanse because that was my focus for the week. But yeah, that is an outline of my planner a little bit. I'm probably gonna record myself working on next week's spread and maybe the March one, just so you guys can see what I end up doing with that. So
standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep. All that's left is you and me. I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me, and let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night, time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. There's no one left but you and me. It's like